Hi everybody. Yay, Huddle's early today. We're at 11:30 a.m. today and not 7:45 p.m. today. So excited. Soon we've got our beautiful NMD, Canadian NMD Rita jumping on to share her story and her journey to NMD to inspire us, but also to share her challenges and things too, so that we know that we are normal. But first of all, we're going to do our gratitude, which I love. This is I know we started it last week and I actually love it. So I would really love it if you guys would either come off mute or pop in the chat. Who are you grateful for this week and why? Doesn't have to be someone in the business. It can be anyone in your life that you has impacted you or supported you, or that you've...
To be grateful for yourself.
For me?
Me.
Oh, you've been grateful for you?
Yeah.
Yes, great. Yes, and why?
It got me through this week and I am proud of that.
Awesome, Amira. I love it, honey. I love it. So tell us about that, getting through your week. Can you? Or are you busy?
It has been like... Hey, water. Oh, my towel on my head, okay. It has been an emotional probably couple of weeks, and I just have felt like I have had no business brain on me. Like someone would message me and I'd be like, oh, people are trying to talk to me. Like they'd be like, oh, what's your product? I'd be like, fuck off. You know, like I just didn't want to bar of anybody. And so I really needed to do some growth through that and figure out what was going on for me. And I've got my extra baby here, and we're dealing with lockdown, and yeah, and we've just survived, and it's been good.
And you're grateful for yourself. That's something to be proud of, Amira. That's awesome.
I'm grateful for I guess I'm grateful for the fact that I've grown enough to know that bad moments are bad moments, and my whole life doesn't have to fall to pieces. And even when I'm feeling like shit, I know that there's that other side to it.
Yeah.
And I never used to get that. Like I used to hit a wall and want to use, because I just would think it was the end of the world and there wasn't going to be another side. And I'm grateful that there's another side to that, and that I know that.
Brilliant, honey. Thank you for sharing. I love it. It's fantastic. Anyone else want to go next?
Yeah.
Go for it, Sharon.
Okay, so I'm really grateful that Peter got me out of bed yesterday. That was good. I had a moment, and I said to him, oh, were you just going to stay there? He said, oh, yeah, I was just going to stay till you got up. So I had to get up. But I'm really grateful for painting. So I'm really grateful for Gabby, who started an online intuitive painting group last lockdown. And the last couple of days I've been painting with people from all around the world, people who are getting up at 2 in the morning and all sorts of crazy times. And I didn't know I could paint until I met her. I call her my art angel. So I had two gratefuls. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful, Sharon. Thank you. I know you're always grateful for your Peter anyway, right?
Yeah. We're the lucky Peter people. Hey.
We are. We so are. It's amazing, honey. I love it that you're getting up at all hours for painting. It's great.
Yeah.
Carrie, cool. I'm grateful for me as well, but I can't talk about it out loud. That's beautiful, honey. It's okay. You can share it in the chat if you want the reason why you're grateful for you. You don't have to put the whole lot in. If you want to put a bit more, then you can do that. We'll be here to listen. Hi. I'm assuming this is Kiriana that's dropped in, honey. Tell me if it's not. But we are talking about, we're just sharing either in the chat or off mute who we are grateful for this week and why. It doesn't have to be someone in the business. It can be anyone in your life that you're grateful for. So if you want to share, just go ahead and share. Megan, do you want to share, honey?
Yeah, I'm struggling to find someone, to be honest. I mean, I'm always grateful for my husband, I think, because he's been doing a lot for me while I've been pregnant, and he's definitely getting sick of the cooking. So yeah, he urges me almost day. He's like, I'm going for a walk. Are you coming? Urges me daily to come for a walk, even though I feel a lot of the time I don't feel like going. And yeah, like, with the extra weight on, I've got, my knees are starting to get sore. I'm getting bunions and, all of that. And I'm pushing on. So.
Well, that's great.
Let's just say him. Yeah.
That's fantastic. He is a good hubby, isn't he? Yeah. He does look after you.
And I know that I'm motivating him too right now to do the challenge as well. So him and a friend are doing the 30-day challenge, not specifically for, for the prize or anything, but yeah.
Oh, they're doing the Vitality Hub challenge. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So he's like, I'm unmotivated, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, well, why don't you do the challenge?
That's fantastic. So is one of his team doing it with him?
Yes.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. So hopefully that'll inspire them.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And he didn't even realize that there was all the information that I could give them and, all of that. So he's very appreciative of that because he thought he had to try and do it all by himself and figure all that out. And he forgot about SMART goals and all of that. So I've just sort of opened his eyes to more about what our program actually offers.
Yeah, that's great. That's so good. So good. Thank you for sharing, honey. Isn't it amazing when we are in our head and we think, oh, I can't think of anybody we're grateful for, but actually we do. We always have someone we're grateful for. Kerry, just learning how to stand up for myself a bit more and pushing myself out of bad situations. Go you, girl. You're amazing. You are amazing. You've come so far since I've met you, honestly. Yeah, standing in your power. You powerful goddess, you. So I am grateful for my hubby too. He's been amazing. He's actually just been doing the ironing for me. He helps me with the housework. He's cooking up. What's that?
What's ironing?
Well, I don't have very much, but it's just a few shirts usually, but it sits there for ages because I just don't have the inclination to do it. And he's done all the ironing. He helps me with the washing. He, does the half the housework. He's just been amazing. So since this week, since we've been on lockdown, I've had my jobs halved, which has been great. So really grateful for my darling hubby. Thank you. So that's it. Gratitude. Do you want to share anything, Kiriana? Before we wait for Rita to jump on, she'll be on in 5 minutes.
I'm just listening away. Really. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to hear your voice, darling. So I hear you're doing really well. Sheena says that you're doing really well with your customers and things. That's so exciting. Hello.
Hello.
It's fantastic.
I was sitting around in the bedroom before with my babies because we were around there watching movies. They're real noisy, so I didn't want to put it on unmute.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Totally get that. It's good to see your name pop up though, rather than the Galaxy A10 or something.
Yeah, I didn't know how to use it.
But I know who it is now. I know it's always you when you pop in. So what you can do is if you go into your settings, so when you've got that square box for your Zoom before you go on to Zoom, you've got that square white box. So if you click onto your little profile icon up on the right-hand corner, the top right-hand corner, and if you click on that, you'll go to settings and you can change it in there. You have to go online to do it, but you can actually put your own name in, just go to your profile.
Okay.
And then it's permanent, because when we come on in a meeting, we can change it, but it doesn't stay permanently.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bit of useless information for you. We all need a bit of useless information. Anyone else want to share any wins or anything exciting that's happened this week while we're waiting for Rita to jump in? Any wins?
So I have forwarded your email on to them.
You can come off mute if you want, Kerry. You look like you're typing. Not on the
Typing to a customer.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Quite intense.
Ah, okay. Well, we'll just wait because she'll be here soon.
I'm going to be putting some stuff in our group chat after this.
Our group chat with a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. How'd you get on with Jade? Did you check in to see if she's got an order in?
No, I didn't. Do that now. Do it right now.
You'll be able to see actually in the system if you have a look. You'll be able to see it'll come up that you've got a new customer in your team.
Okay.
On your alerts. Yeah.
Jokes, don't need the information. Got the sale anyway.
Oh, that's awesome, honey. So what were you looking for exactly?
Oh, he messaged me and said, my girlfriend told me you sell collagen shakes. And I said, well, I don't sell collagen shakes, but I do sell, I just said, but I do sell plant-based, whole food plant-based protein shakes. And I said, what was it? What health, what goals? I know I'm from recovery, he's quite a big dude. Said, what goals are you looking to smash so that I can recommend the right ship for you? Because we speak quite rawly to each other. He was like, oh, my powerlifting, some better sleep, some more energy, and maybe lose some weight. And I was like, well, mate, so I have the deal for you. And I just said about powerlifting that our products are really good for inflammation and stuff like that. But he's going to get the Kickstart pack.
Okay, because the other thing is Kieran has a whole lot of information that she got from Lauren Berry around the shakes and bodybuilding specifically.
Oh, cool.
So you can ask her for that. I'm sure she'd be happy to share with you. But yeah, our caps are definitely good for inflammation and all the other stuff he wants. So
yeah. Can you just go outside for 5 minutes? Sorry.
Hi, Rita. Hi, darling.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, we're so excited to have you here with us.
Excited to be here with you all.
Oh, thank you. Well, welcome. Welcome to our team training. This is Soul Tribe. Well, this is just a fraction of Soul Tribe. I don't know where all the others are, but I think it's the time change. So we, and you're like our first NMD series guest. So you should be honoured.
I am very honored. I'm always honored, but I'm very honored to be here with all of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know Rita, I have really got to know Rita over the last few months in our leadership group that we're part of, and now also in another group that we're also part of, Rita, that we're working through some other more personal stuff together. And this woman is so inspiring. She's just reached NMD, what, 2 months ago? Is it 2 months now?
June 30th.
Ah, yes, 2 months ago. So super excited. I know some of our team were part of helping her with her volume as well, which was really cool. But I just thought I wanted to get this lady on because I know it hasn't been an easy ride for you, but you're so inspiring. I just love watching you, and I love, that we're connected all of the way on the other side of the world. So I'd really love it, Rita, if you would please share your story. So why you decided to join the business, we'd love to hear your story, because I don't think I've even heard your story. So I'd love to hear it. I'm going to spotlight you too, by the way.
Well, thank you so much. That was just an absolutely beautiful introduction, and I'm very honored to be here with all of you, and absolutely thrilled that I've gotten to know you over the last few months. This is my favorite part of this business, that we get to meet people that we otherwise would not have met. Like, if we really stop to think about what a gift that is, whether they're part of our team or part of our sideline or whatever, upline, whatever, we get to meet such beautiful people all over the world that there's no way that I would ever meet any of you likely any other way. So it absolutely is a real gift, and I'm excited to share my story. As Tanya said, I'm an NMD, and I'm from Ontario, Canada. Sorry, I'll turn my ringer off for you. I'm from Ontario, Canada. I have been with Juice Plus for 3 years now. It actually was just 3.5 years. I'm a mom of 2. My kids are 26 and 18 next month. I've been married for almost 30 years now, and I'm also a nurse practitioner. When I first came across this opportunity, I was not a stranger to being in business. My husband and I had owned a convenience store many years ago. Actually, I'm 50 now. I was 22 when we bought the store. We had just gotten married. We ended up selling it about 3.5 years later after we had our first child, because we knew that a brick and mortar traditional business would not allow us to do the things that we'd want to do with our growing family. When I came across this opportunity, I saw a Facebook post about the products from one of my cousins who was a customer of my now mentor. And it's hard to explain, but just days prior to that, I had been praying for a way out. That post spoke to me. It was like I knew it was something that was meant for me to know about or to do. I had this gut feeling that it was literally the answer to my prayers. I was not a stranger to network marketing. I knew how that worked. I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I reached out to my mentor, Carrie, who my cousin had tagged in the post, reached out to my cousin, and really I just took a leap of faith and jumped in, figuring I'd learn what I needed to know specifically about this company and this business along the way. You see, as much as people would have assumed that I had it all based on outward appearances and from the smile on my face, behind that smile was a woman who was feeling very broken, stuck, and not happy with where I was. My husband and I had built a beautiful life and family, and I should have been happy. That should have been enough. But in fact, I found myself questioning if I was where I really wanted to be and if all the sacrifices I had made were worth it. And to be honest, I'm still working through some of that. I spent many, many years going to school. When our daughter was 1, we sold our traditional business, as I said, and I went back to school to become a nurse. Over the following years, I completed my diploma as a registered nurse. I then completed my degree. I then went on to finish my nurse practitioner and my master's in nursing. And I had spent years going to school full time, often while working full time at the same time and raising, 2 kids. So when I found myself praying for something 3 years ago, it was because I felt like I had sacrificed everything. I thought I had done what would fulfill me, but there I was working 60 hours a week in 2 busy practices, feeling absolutely miserable, exhausted, and unhappy. And at that point, I was almost 47 years old by then. And let me tell you, it didn't feel like it was a nice place to be. 47, feeling like I had worked and fought so hard, literally for over 2 decades, only to discover that I felt like I wasn't in the place that I truly wanted to be professionally or as a woman. I knew I wanted more. I knew that I was meant for something greater. I wanted to make a bigger impact in the world. I wanted to change lives in a different way. And as a nurse practitioner for almost 10 years, before I came into this business, I worked in palliative care, and before that primary care. And I found myself helping people to die better. And although that might sound rewarding, and it was, don't get me wrong, but it still didn't feel like it was enough. And I knew I wanted to help people live better. I knew that I just wasn't being fulfilled. I wasn't being lit up by what I was doing. And I was literally just getting through every day. And so I felt like it was slowly just taking a toll on my physical and emotional health. And so when I jumped into this business, I jumped in with both feet. I felt alive again. I had been living with chronic pain and fatigue for years, and suddenly I was feeling more energy. I was passionate about sharing this business and these products. As a nurse practitioner, I knew I had to share them with others. And so my journey began. And I was Tribes on a Mission Partner of the Month several times in the first several months. I raced to SSC in 8 months, and I felt absolutely lit up by what I was doing. And I fell in love with the community and the personal development, which I was really always a fan of. And I set my sights on replacing my income. And I don't say that because I'm sharing for you to think, oh, wow, Rita's amazing. I share that because this business isn't all, there's ebbs and flows in this business. And there's there's things that happen sometimes that where we have to kind of harness our disappointments in life and in this business. And for the first 2 years in this business, I was working 60 hours a week. I was building this business in stolen moments. I was telling myself that when I replaced my income from my private practice, I would leave it. And so what I hope you hear from that is that if you want this bad enough, you will work to get there. If it's in stolen moments, it doesn't matter if you're working, if you have children. The truth is, we all have reasons why this could not work for us, right? But it's really about making things work when you really want something bad enough. But by December 2019, I was 2 years in, and I knew that I couldn't keep up the pace. I kind of found myself in the same place where I was exhausted and loving what I was doing, but not really loving what I was doing on the other side of things. And I knew I wanted more. I wanted more income. I just wanted more. I wanted to move my business beyond SSC, where I was just kind of there for that. I had raced there in 8 months and then just sat there for a while. And I was already showing up at training. I was doing my DMO daily in stolen moments, but I knew that if I wanted different results, that I'd have to do something different. So I asked myself some hard questions and made some decisions. You see, as a nurse practitioner, I was making 3 to 4 times what my husband was earning. And so the decision to let go of income that I was earning in my private practice didn't come lightly. I knew it would affect my whole family, but we had become accustomed to that income. But I'm not suggesting that people leave their job. I'm just saying that I knew that I could not continue that pace. And I knew that I needed to follow my heart and do what felt right for me, and that I could replace that income if I took that second leap of faith. And so that was leap of faith number 2 in my business. And I really believe in following our heart and taking leaps of faith and listening to our gut. And when I made that decision that I was going to share this business and bring on a minimum of 2 people per month, I let go of that private practice. I went down to 40 hours a week, like a normal person would work. And I did, I brought on 2 people every month. Sometimes it was 3 or 4 people in the year 2020. So all of last year. What I hope that you hear from this story is that deciding is crucial, and then putting it into action, that steps will move your business forward. So it's decide and then take action. So every time I felt like I was treading water in this business, I've learned that I needed to look within. I needed to ask myself some hard questions, and I just needed to get to work. I've always been involved in our team, very involved. But in 2019, in December, I made a decision that I was going to be my own best team. I got to work doing everything that my dream team would do. And by January 2020, a month later, my check was already bigger. In 2020, I quadrupled my business, and every month from January 2020 on, my pay line and my check grew. And that was absolutely a team effort. We don't get to NMD by ourselves. This is us with our team, absolutely. But it starts with a decision. I believe it started with my decision and my action. And so what I've learned is, and I'm going to leave you just with some tips, the habits that I created to survive would not serve me to thrive. I had to get out of survival mode and into thrive mode. And if you want it, you just have to decide and get to work. Like, it really is as simple as that. And every time, because we're not immune to feeling stuck and feeling frustrated and, getting into our own mind, and standing in our own way. But truly, it is simple as that. Just decide and get to work, even if it's just a little bit every day, but a little bit every day moves you in the right direction. Develop a why that makes you fly, but don't just know your why. Invest in your why, invest in yourself, invest in your business, know what you want and where you're going. As Jamie Kern Lima says, your knowing is more powerful than their knowing. So people are going to say no to you. It's okay. Our business is built on finding people who are excited about this as us, and some will just want to earn money back on their own order, and some will want to build an empire. But what we know for sure is that we're doing the right thing, and that this is what we should be doing, and that is much more powerful. Our why and our deciding and making, and just getting to work is so much more powerful than anyone saying no to us. Create relationships with people. Be interested, not interesting. Be patient. One of my team, that joined me, and one of my strongest team really was an 18-month relationship that we literally developed from strangers online. And I did that just by genuinely wanting to be her friend. And I was patient. She was a hard no in the beginning, and I just loved on her and did the drip feeding and, was there for her. And when things changed and she was ready to take a look, I was there for her. And more than willing to and ready to show her the business. Be somebody that makes everybody feel like a somebody. Be the biggest cheerleader in your team and mean it. Be genuine and authentic about it. Ask yourself, what do you believe about your ability to grow an even more successful business? I like to use that 1 to 10 assessment to find the areas that you need to work on. So, product, business, company, network marketing is a profession, and your belief in your ability to create what you want from this. If you're not a 10 out of 10, at least then you know where you need to get to work. Because often people are a 10 out of 10 on product, 10 out of 10 even in the company, and very not much often a 10 out of 10. Often it's 2 or 5 or 6 or whatever in their belief in themselves, and often even in the network marketing profession. And if you don't believe in the network marketing profession, then it really is going to be difficult for you to be sharing this business. And if you don't really believe that you can do it, then that is going to hold you back. And so the beautiful thing about that is that there's things that you can do to help you build your belief. So that is workable. Absolutely. Share what you're learning with your greater team. Put 2 hands up to share on events and training. Remember, your team do what you do, period. So it's so important, and to make it, 1 team, 1 mission, no competition, only healthy competition against the standard. I really believe it takes teamwork to make the dream work. I do believe that. And the more we work together as sidelines, as, our own organizations, the better we are as people, the better our businesses are, and the better we make network marketing as a profession. Help team become independently as quickly as possible. 1 person doing it all isn't duplicatable. You want your team to do what you do, so raise them up, encourage them to get comfortable with being uncomfortable by leading events and trainings and those kinds of things, and really, praise them. Adam had recently said in one of our meetings a few months ago, I think, that building an NMD business is like climbing Mount Everest. You can't climb to the top of Mount Everest with people on your back. You can't drag people. I mean, you could drag them to a certain point, but they have to want to do the work for their own business. Look for people who want this, and really just keep it simple, because it really is a simple process. Keep growing, keep learning. We'll never know everything. Your mentor has already gone through everything that you're going through. So if you're struggling, share it with them, always go up. If they make a suggestion or suggest that you do something, be a yes person, especially when it scares you. Lean into the fear, because we know we don't grow in our comfort zone. And so if it scares you or triggers you, that's exactly where you need to go to work. Small changes in our daily routine can result in major transformations. Don't underestimate the importance of small daily habits or changes. in the book Atomic Habits, if you haven't read that, it's an amazing book. The Big Leap is another fantastic book. But in Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about making a 1% improvement every single day, and the major transformation that can result just from that 1% daily. And if you think about it, that's 365% better in a year if every day you're 1% better than the day before. And one of the analogies he uses is a pilot flying a plane to New York. If he shifts the nose just a few degrees over when he takes off, he'd actually end up in Washington, D.C. versus New York. And if you don't know the US geography, I'm Canadian, but he used US geography in his sample. It's over 200-mile difference in destination just by that few degrees of shifting the nose of the plane on takeoff. And last but not least, have fun. Don't take yourself or this business so seriously. Remember why you started. And I really believe that we all have that little flame within us as to why we started and what excited us about jumping in. And so it's important that we fan those flames every day. Stay close to the fire. When you feel discouraged, instead of taking a step back, take a step forward. Reach out to your mentor, go to training, show up, do whatever it takes to get yourself back to the place where you can move forward in this business. Because I'll tell you, myself, Tanya will probably be able to say the same thing. And every single one of us in this business, there have been times where the automatic was to take a step back. But we've learned over time that if you take a step forward instead, that is actually going to help you grow and help your business grow. Taking a step back only makes you feel worse. I find anyway. And I'm one of those people that if I'm feeling challenged or triggered, I want to recoil. I want to kind of go in myself and take a step back. And I've learned it's so important to step forward, put my hand up, reach out to a mentor. We are so blessed with the amazing mentors that we have that are not just here to mentor us in our business, but mentor us as people. The program, the course that Tanya and I are doing right now that she mentioned, really is not about the business. It's about us as people. And we have a beautiful mentor and leader that's pouring into us. This is, I always say this is personal development disguised as a business. And it really, you have to be willing to learn and grow in this business in order for your business to grow. It is just as much finding out who you are and more about yourself as it is, growing the business. And I just feel like it's so important to be willing to, really kind of take a look at yourself, a good look at yourself, as scary as that can be. So anyway, that's my story. Those are my tips. That's what I've learned in 3.5 years. And I'm still growing and learning. And I, still have moments of struggle. We all do. We're all human. But it is so worth it.
Amazing. So much gold. I hope you're all writing things down. There's so much to take in. You're just awesome, Rita. Thank you so much. So on that, I do have a few other questions for you. And it sounds to me like NMD was not necessarily a decision for you right from the start, because when I first started, I was like, I'm NMD to 100 Club in 2 years. That was my goal. So that was
my goal too. Absolutely.
Okay, so tell us about that, because you sat at SSC for how long? I sat at SSC for 2 years, by the way. But what did tell us about that decision, and what was it for you? What was that moment where you thought, I'm not doing this anymore? I can't, I'm not staying here anymore. I've got to actually make this happen.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That was my goal. And I believed that I could. And, I feel like whether you run in this business and hit, promotions right quickly or not, at some point, I think we almost all have had some sort of setback or realization or struggle and think like, what's wrong? And I remember, I got to SSC so quickly, and then it was like, I don't know what happened, because I feel like I was still doing all of the things that I needed to be doing. Honestly, I can tell you that why that happened was because I always say I'm not a gamer at all. I don't play video games, but I feel like this business requires us to level up, if you know what I mean, personally. So I feel like I got to SSC and I I had a realization at one point that I was doing a bit of a push-pull. So I remember the moment when I had that realization. We were at a conference in the States and everybody was going into the Eltons. I wasn't 12 Club yet at that point. I was SSC, probably 3 Club or something like that. And I was so excited and happy for the people going in. Brian and Fiona and Adam and Kira, everybody was here from, there with us. And I was watching them all go in, and Linda was there too, I'm pretty sure. And then when we went down to like take pictures with them and, hang out with them a little bit, I was so scared. I was like, this is not me. I felt like this is not me. I'm not fancy enough. I'm not well-spoken enough. I'm not beautiful enough. Like, it was just all of these things that I realized it scared the crap out of me. As much as I was like, I want to be that. Then I had this realization that I was scared. And I remember Brian, I think, had said to me, Brian Marsh said, the thing is, we learn and grow through this business, and who you are today isn't going to be who you are when you get there, because we learn and grow. And I think it was then that I just kind of realized, if I want this, I have to be willing to fight hard for it. And that was, and, getting to NMD, what that meant to me. One, I've just always been a very eager person, very much of a self-starter. And, I, against all odds, I will fight to reach the goal. And it just felt like this is where I wanted to be, because the truth is, as much as I feel like I worked hard to be a nurse practitioner and am proud of that accomplishment, I feel like this is home, if that makes sense. I feel like this is what I meant to do. And so I need it to replace my income. I wanted the full health benefits. I wanted to be an MD 100 Club. And so I know that's where I'm going, but I also know that there's leveling up I have to do before I get there too. And I have to be willing to do that work. And that's why I'm doing the course with Linda. That's why I'm doing all these things. I've invested into myself and into my business, as scary as that makes me. I think we just have to decide, what do we want and why do we want it? And what are we willing to do to get there? Because I feel like a lot of times we want something, but then it's easier to say, you know what, I'm with my family today, we're on vacation, I'm not going to talk to people, or I'm not going to do my DMO. What's one day? But it's such a slippery slope. And it's okay if you're happy where you are, but if you want more, then you have to be willing to do more, because where you are right now, what you're doing right now has gotten you to where you are. If you want more, there's a saying, and I don't even really know if this is true, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. That's what I felt like I was doing up until December 2019. I felt like, okay, I'm doing all of this over and over again, and my business is not moving forward. It's not duplicating the way I want it. I need to do something different. And I felt like it needed to be drastic, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely makes sense. Thank you so much for sharing that. So let's talk about your challenges then. I know you've talked a little bit on that, but what sort of face down moments have you had, and did they nearly take you out? And if they didn't take you out, what was it that kept you going?
So I believe that if you want to be an NMD or whatever in this business, that quitting has to not be an option. Like, take it off the table. Like, I'm serious. It can't be an option, because if you're going to say every time something gets hard, oh, I think I'm going to quit, then you're giving yourself another option, really, right? So for me, quitting has never, it was like when I went to school, quitting wasn't an option. I just had to get it done no matter what. And so quitting is not an option. It never has been an option. There have been times where I have continued kicking and screaming. I have cried. I have been angry. I have been everything, and I think that one of the hardest lessons was that I can't want this more for people than they want it for themselves. And, I think it's Linda often says, there's no problem in Juice Plus that can't be solved by bringing on more team. And so I really just decided that, it's easy for me to want to push people to do things and you know, whether they say they want to or not, it's important to look at the feet, not the lips. People will say they want something, but not necessarily follow through in life in general. And so it was really important for me to realize that I can love somebody, like them, want the best for them, want to be their friend, care about them, but understand that this is not, they don't want 100 Club NMD, and that is okay. Because if you think about this from a purely business perspective, every person in your organization matters. The partners, the partner pluses, they help you qualify your business. They are people who you've helped change their lives because they're on the product. Maybe they shared it with a couple people. Like, everybody matters in your business. And, you know, one of our leaders has said, the people who are with you when you get to QSC or senior partner for you guys, or SC or QSSC or whatever, or a QNMD or whatever, they're not going to be the same people that are going to be there when you hit SSC or QNMD or NMD. Some of them might be, but they're not all necessarily going to be the same people. And so we just have to understand that some people come and go. There's ebbs and flows in this business, just like there is people that come and go. And we have to meet people where they're at and just accept that if that's what they want, if they want more and they're stuck, then it's our job to help them. But if they just don't want more, then we have to accept that. Because when I accepted that, and I stopped feeling like I was banging my head on the wall, and I stopped feeling resentful and frustrated. And I'm embarrassed to say that, but I felt resentful and frustrated and angry because people would say, oh, I want this. And then it'd be like, okay, let's do it. And then I thought, and that's not me. I don't want to feel that way. So, you know, what I need to do is just love them where they're at and accept them for what they want, and give them a task, and they don't follow through. That's okay. And so it's 80, 15, 5, right? You're going to give 80% of your attention to the 5% or the 20%. The 80% that really are just going to stay as partners or partner pluses, they are worth your love and attention, but 5 or 15% of your attention, not 80% of your attention. So if you're spending a lot of time following up with people and trying to get them to do things, then, you know, it was then that I realized that it wasn't about trying to get the people who were already there to do more. It was go out and get more people who want what I want, who want to change their lives, because they're out there. Who sometimes say to me, well, you know, I'd love to talk to her about it, but she's successful. She makes great money. Why would she want this? And I'm like, I was successful in making great money. I was time poor. I was miserable. I wasn't happy. I wasn't feeling fulfilled for whatever reason. So don't judge anybody. Just let people know what the gift is. And then it's up to them if they want it. Yeah, our chicken list. Absolutely. And there's freedom in that, right? In kind of plucking people off that chicken list and being brave, because when we can be vulnerable and brave, and I think it goes back to that 1 out of 10, you know, assessment, because if you believe 10 out of 10, if you have absolutely no doubt in your mind that you can do this, that network marketing profession is the profession to be in, that these products are 100% the best and this company is 100% the best, then you are going to believe that this is a gift. And if you truly believe it, hesitation to says you're paying. If you don't, that's okay. It doesn't affect you, right? We're not attached to their response, yes or no. It's okay. If they say no, it's not the end of the world, because you've got that armor of 100% belief in what you're doing, and you're just giving a gift. It's like, you know, when we give Christmas gifts or gifts, birthday gifts, we buy something for someone that they think they might want, but they don't always love it. Like, that is the truth. And okay, you know, that's why we give gift receipts, so they can return it if they don't want it. It's no different than this business, really. We can't expect everybody to see it the way we see it. And one of my team actually had a great analogy. It's like we're all on a clock, and it's when their time comes that this makes sense for them. If it's not in their time, it's not going to make sense. And I've had people 18 months later, a year later, 3 years later, become team or customers because today it makes sense to them. And before it didn't, for whatever reason. Yeah, I love the clock analogy, because it's just, if you think about it that way, it just makes sense, right? It's like, you know, think about it. If someone how many of you jumped in the first moment you saw this? And if you did, great. And because I did too, but not everybody did. And not everybody does. And so you can be NMD 100 club and maybe have said no in the beginning, right? Like it doesn't bear any weight. It's divine timing. I truly believe that. So, I listen to my gut a lot. I just try to talk to as many people as possible and share my mission, through social media and through when I'm chatting with people. And I think posture has a lot to do with it. When we are certain with what we're doing, then other people buy into our certainty.
Love that. I love that, Rita. It's so true. It really is true. So I guess a good way to end is, because you've shared so much gold already, I just love it, is, just telling us what it is that you love about this journey. We talk about the challenges, but what do you love, and, what keeps you here? Because honestly, and we talk about this a lot with Linda, right? The 6 human needs and how it fulfills all our 6 human needs. But, how does that fulfill for you? So what's really important for you in this business, and what else do you hear?
For me, I'm definitely a caregiver, people helper. So I love that I have been able to, I often will say, I feel like I've made more of an impact in people's health and lives now than I did with a prescription pad in my hand. I've seen more people have better results with losing excess weight, managing their diabetes, their blood pressure, all sorts of, cholesterol, all sorts of chronic issues that have been improved because of that. So the products I truly, truly believe in. But I think what I love most about this is that anybody can do this. Whether you are fresh out of high school, you just turned 18, or whether you have a disability and you are not employable, whether you are retired, whether you don't have education to make 6 figures, you can make 6 figures here. Like there is no discretion, I guess. What's the word I'm looking for? Anybody can be successful in this business. And so I just love that we can make an impact in people's lives, and we can, really change our lives. And let's face it, we work often 25, 30 years or more to be able to earn a pension so that we can retire and earn way less than we are when we're working. With this business, you can create a residual income in an hour a day, 2 hours a day if you have a big team. Like, I'm not working tons of hours per day, but I have a beautiful income and full health benefits. And that's pretty remarkable when people are looking for home life, work-life balances. This profession gives us everything. And I believe this company, like, I truly believe that this is probably the best opportunity out there, and people will get distracted by other shiny things. But at the end of the day, you can't beat whole food nutrition. You can't beat it. It's just plain and simple, real food. And we are, the research backs up as it does just plain nutrition. And our compensation plan is amazing. And this company wants you to succeed. They will work hard to help you to succeed. So I really just don't think that there's a better opportunity out there. And I'm 50 years old, and I'm tired of giving so much of myself and leaving nothing for myself and my family. Truly, that's probably the biggest thing. I found myself depleted in every way, shape, and form as a nurse practitioner, working to continuously help other people. And I feel like now is my time to still be able to care and help other people, but not at the expense of my health. So I'm working on that.
Love that. I can totally relate to you on that one. 51 and felt exactly the same thing. It was just my giving of service to others was at my detriment every time. So I get that. This is way more positive and uplifting, isn't it? Yeah.
It sure is.
So how has this changed your life, and what are you excited for going forward, Rita?
It's changed my life because I feel like I can be happier and more fulfilled. Like I feel like this fulfills me. This gives me the work-life balance. My family's excited. This can be a family business. You know, my children, my daughter's in the business now, and earning an income. My son is excited as he turns 18 to start business. Like, it's just, you know, it's changed my life in a lot of ways. And I feel like I'm a better mom and a better daughter and a better wife, because I feel happier. And when I look at some of my team, who, and many are in healthcare, you know, I'm, as a nurse practitioner, I resonate with other nurse practitioners. So I do have a lot of NPs and nurses in my team. And some of them have, you know, in a matter of months, really been able to reduce how much they're working. And their lives are forever changed. Like, I've had people in tears at how just in awe they are of all of this. It's powerful. Like, it's really powerful what this can be for people. And I feel like we overcomplicate it. It really isn't complicated, and it's not hard. It's not easy because I think why it's not easy is because it takes us looking at ourselves, asking ourselves some hard questions, and really getting outside of our comfort zone. That's what makes it hard. Otherwise, it's a simple business. It's the human nature part of the fear of growing and getting outside of our comfort zone and fearing what other people are going to think about us, that stops us. But everything else is like, it's hard to find anything negative here, really.
I agree. I totally agree. So what's ahead for you, Rita? And by the way, if anybody has any questions for Rita, please pop them in the chat. I'm sure she'll be happy to answer your questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's ahead for you, honey? You know, what is going forward? What's your next goal?
Well, I mean, definitely 100 Club is you know, a goal. My next big goal is 24 Club. I think last month I was at 15 or 16, so inching my way. I'd love to see 39 Club by the end of the year. We'll see. I mean, the year is whizzing by, but if it's one thing that we can all really probably agree on, is that amazing things could happen in a very short period of time in this business. So yeah, you know, my goal is just to help inspire other people to see how amazing this is and to be able to change their lives. You know, to be able to make this a really strong, stable income for my family. At this point, this is my sole income now. I'm not even working as a nurse practitioner anymore, and I really don't think I want to go back as a nurse practitioner. So that's my goal, to be able to completely replace that so I can justify not going back to work.
Oh, that's a great goal. I love that, Rita. So how many days do you work now?
I'm not working at all as a nurse practitioner. I'm on an unpaid leave. So I'm only doing Juice Plus, and this is my sole income right now. And, you know, I'm having to make a decision as to what I'm going to do, but I'm leaning towards just retiring and loving Juice Plus.
And I think too, what you said before about, you know, that I believe that we underestimate the power that this business has. That when we make a decision and we have the desire, that we can get to any level in any time frame. It doesn't matter. There's no pattern or there's nothing that's laid out for everybody. It's in your own time. And, you know, as long as, like you said, you're doing the work on yourself and you're changing things up so that you can grow to step into that new, you know, that next level, because what they say is every level there's a different devil. And it is so true how we can step into something that we weren't, like another onion is peeled off, you know, another layer is peeled off. Every time we reach another level, there's something else that we've got to drop. There's something else we've got to release, you know, as long as we're willing to actually step into that and do the work that we need to do, then we are only going to get to the next level. And the sooner and faster that we do that, the faster that we're going to get to the next level. So there's no stopping anyone, really. I totally agree with you.
And everybody's journey is different. You know, it's easy to compare and think, oh, so-and-so did it in a year or 3 years or 2 years. We're all different. We're all have, you know, different other commitments. Like, there's just no right or wrong here, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. It's do what you need to do for yourself and what you can do, and just believe that you can, and just go for it. Because you know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You're right. Absolutely right. You can do anything that you set your mind to. I believe that mindset is everything here. It is the determining factor. If you believe you can, you will. And if you believe you can't, you're right.
That's right. You're right either way, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions for this amazing lady? No questions. You can come off mute if you do and ask her. Will anyone have anything they want to say to her?
That's okay. I really enjoyed my time with you ladies. I hope that you found it helpful. I'm happy, you know, if anything comes up after, Tans can send me a message and you guys can let me know if there's a burning question or whatever. But thank you very much for having me.
Well,
It was a
we
pleasure.
really appreciate your time, Rita. It's been beautiful having you with us on our little
Thank
weekend
you.
today. And thank you, ladies, for showing up for yourselves. It's the first
Thank
step
you.
in success. So
Yes,
well done.
yes.
Thank you. You're
Thank you.
amazing.
Okay. Bye-bye,
Thank
my
you so
friend.
much.
Bye.
Have a good day, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye.